What's going on, everyone? Thank you for joining and tuning in to the J&J Talk Show. This is another segment here bringing up to you what a wonderful weekend that we had, a great show we had back on Sunday. And now it's time, as Tuesdays go, to bring you into some official Major League Baseball. With that being said, it has been a kind of saddened time, at least for me, to have the Major League Baseball season come to an end. 162 games, first year back in full capacity swing. When it comes down to having fans and seats, full season mode compared to last year during COVID. And I'm excited. I was excited when this all began, when they were able to make it work. And let's not go against anything. They had their ups and downs. They allowed every individual state or every individual ball club to make their own policies and regulations. I went out to a handful of games this year, being safe, most important thing. And as postseason hits coming up here over the next month, it's going to be a factor with the fan base, at least in my opinion. I know that they're working on making sure everyone stays safe, everyone stays healthy, especially as the COVID-19 increases and spikes in their cases this year. So if you're planning to go out to a postseason game, you want to check the wild card, division, World Series, then I really just advise just to be safe out there. Because they're doing everything they can on their end to get fans to the stadiums and get fans cheering for their team. So do your part and stay safe as well. But we're officially here. Major League Baseball Wild Card Week today and tomorrow. And some pretty impressive games. I don't remember how the last time I got this excited just for wild card games. But it was also the journey. The reason why I'm excited this year was because the lead on to right now, how we got here today, all the scenarios that took away, all the, we knew, we were talking about the Cardinals making a huge run in the National League to wild card spot. I believe at the beginning of September, they were about 4 games out. They go 17 game streak. I don't know if they went 18 or not. Last time I checked, they went 17 games straight, winning every single ball game in the month of September. And that has led them to rightfully earn, the second wild card spot. Impressive. The Yankees has so much of a struggle this year, in and out with injuries, and we'll get to the key injuries for all the teams here in a moment. But they were injuries after. Look where they're at now. They have made themselves a wild card spot facing the Red Sox tonight. I'm excited to see some of these teams like Atlanta back at it again. The White Sox winning the division. I'm okay with Tampa Bay. They really impressed me last year, especially with the younger guys. You know what was impressing me is I was a San Diego Padres fan, and I still am. But before the beginning of last season, the Padres and the Rays dealt a couple deals here. They picked up, just key guys like Manuel Margot, Hunter Renfroe, which is now with the Red Sox. But, and the Padres got Tommy Pham, and we thought we were excited about that. It looks like Margot is playing better in Tampa Bay than he did for San Diego. It happens. So we want to wish all the former Padre players are in the postseason today. Good luck in their series. That's just how things happen so quickly. I love seeing new faces. So seeing Milwaukee is still pretty new to me. Atlanta's still pretty new to me. I know the Phillies were very close. New York made a stretch for the Mets. Cincinnati hung on until the last week. That was impressive. I like that. Now there's questions going up in Cincinnati what the future holds for a lot of those players. Some of these teams, it depends how you go about it. See, for me, I was, as much as a disappointment, the Reds and the Padres didn't make the postseason this year. We got to find a way to look at positive things and positive ways, outcomes out of there. You got to remember last season was 60 games. You were able to go all out in all 60 games and still have enough energy. You add additional 102 games onto the season, and you saw what you saw out of the Padres and Reds this year, the downfall, just the strategies that it takes to make it that far. Now, yeah, let's be honest. The Reds, they had a lot of issues going on in the early part of the season. Luis Castillo, Sonny Gray were not performing to their level. They were inconsistent. Injuries after injuries, Joey Votto, Mike Moustakas, other players not performing to their potential. Eugenio Suarez, I know that was a big one. And to complete a season, you need a beginning to end performance, and we saw that with the Padres this year. We didn't see that with the Padres this year. Let me correct myself there. You had a great first half, and then I don't know what happens in September, but injury starts catching up to you, and the Padres started declining, went down a hill. And, what was worse is that they came in September with 70 wins. Beginning of September, they had 70 wins. And they couldn't even walk away with a 500 record this season. So it is frustrating for the Padres, for the Reds, for some of these newer teams that are making their approach. But this is that learning curve. Like I said, from having 60 games to 162 games, 102 game difference here, and then have to go into postseason mode. It's a whole nother issue, a whole nother conversation. You do have to look at, though, the Padres and the Reds kept you talking throughout the month of September. See, their history over the last get off to a good start in the first couple of weeks, maybe April, May, and June. But then by August, they're out of the conversation of even a possible postseason run, because that was just the consistent style that they played. So, as we cut off from the Reds, from the Padres, because they unfortunately they didn't have what it took to make it to the postseason this season. Still keep your heads up. They brought a lot of excitement, a lot of energy to the ball field. They left a lot on the field. Players go down this offseason, get healthy, train some more, and grow, right? This is what you're looking at as a growing team. If you're looking for the Reds to continue to contend and possibly postseason run the next year, the year after that, if the Padres are looking to get better in 162 games and to gain themselves the ability to get back to the postseason with a full season worth of play, then you need to take this opportunity to learn from what happened this past season and move forward. And then there's teams like the White Sox who's been brought up. They didn't do so well last season. They were coming up through the chains, and they make themselves a postseason run, and they run away with that division. So this is instance. These are scenarios where it works for some of these teams and not for so much of these teams. So just to recap here, we'll start off with the American League. In the American League standings here. If you have not tuned in, like I said, the wild card is tonight. The American League wild card is tonight on ESPN. And we'll cover that game here in a moment. The National League wild card will be on Wednesday night, and that will be on TBS. So exciting for some postseason baseball. It's a one-and-done deal for these teams. But over in the American League, we had the Tampa Bay Rays winning the division, has the best record in the American League for say. Followed by that, the Red Sox, who also clinched a wild card spot, and the New York Yankees that clinched their wild card spot. Toronto Blue Jays made a run through the final game, but they couldn't. But because of the outcome of the Red Sox and Yankees game, they didn't. Unfortunately, they didn't make it in. Baltimore Orioles came in last place. An interesting thought. As this past weekend prevailed, what would have you saw if you went down to a three-way tie or a four-way tie with the Seattle Mariners? I always love those type of situations. Not just going down to the final games, clinching the last two spots, but these teams, when you start having four-way ties with a wild card or four-way ties with a division, and then you have to go play 163 games just to determine who's going to advance. That's exciting. We haven't seen that yet in a while. In a long time, as a matter of fact. Over in the American League, the White Sox dominated their division, won by a landslide, but the Cleveland Indians came in second. Detroit Tigers had an impressive third place this year. The Kansas City Royals in fourth. Minnesota Twins in last. I think Minnesota was a little surprising to see them in dead last this season. Over in the West, you got the Houston Astros, the Seattle Mariners, Oakland Athletics, who kept themselves talking in the postseason run into the last week of the season, followed by, and then the Texas Rangers. Moving on to the National League here. The National League East, Atlanta Braves win their division. Close call with the Philadelphia Phillies, but they held on. And they've been kind of a quiet team this season, clinching their division. The Philadelphia Phillies were in second. The New York Mets finished third. Miami Marlins finished fourth, and the Washington Nationals finished dead last. Think about a team who won the World Series not too long ago, finishing dead last. Over in the Central, the Milwaukee Brewers clinched their division. The second wild card spot goes to the second place St. Louis Cardinals. The Reds did give up a fight; they just didn't have enough left in the tank to finish through. The Cubs finished fourth. It's going to be interesting to see how the Cubs rebuild their team this season after unsetting a handful of players, guys like Rizzo, Baez. So, one team to follow this offseason is the Chicago Cubs. And then the Pittsburgh Pirates finished off last. The West standings, the Giants had a phenomenal season. And this actually came out as a surprise. We thought maybe that it was just maybe the first half of the season hype. But they were able to maintain 100+ wins in the season. And they clinched the division, came down to the last game where they beat the Padres in a fashion that would not be forgotten. But the Dodgers clinched the first wild card spot in the first year for a while. I don't remember the last time the Dodgers came in second place. Both teams finish off with 100+ wins, but the Giants are just a little bit better. So the Giants had the best record in Major League Baseball, best record in the National League. They go on and face the winner of the NL wild card, which the Dodgers hold the second place spot. The Padres dropped down and dropped out towards the end of September. Colorado was followed by in fourth place, and then Arizona, who had one hell of a season. Not in a positive way. So that is your standings there. And so I do kind of want to talk about the 10 teams that have made the postseason so far this year. And I'm going to kind of just go down the list and we'll tune right into it. So starting tonight in the American League wild card that is on ESPN, the New York Yankees and the Boston Red Sox. And what I really want to try to kind of just present to you as we kind of cover some of these games are the injuries list, guys, that probably you won't see at all in the postseason this year. And there's actually some really good guys, some really good players that maybe you look forward to that you're not going to be seeing this postseason. We're going to start off with the Yankees because they're on the road over in Boston, and the Yankees had a struggle this year. That's why I elected them as my underdog teams in the American League that I'm rooting for this year to advance. I mean, I would love to see them beat the Red Sox in Fenway, then go on to beat the Rays. And I'm not normally a Yankees fan. I don't normally follow the Yankees like most people do. I mean, I'll follow them throughout the season, but I don't support them the way most people do, being America's team. But right now, you're looking at DJ LeMahieu, at least out until through the divisional series with a sports hernia. Out indefinitely for the postseason, Luke Vogt. That's a huge list. You know, the Yankees had that struggle with the entire season. Like I said, when I was watching the Yankees, I was following the Yankees April, May, June, a little bit of July. I kind of took apart from them, came back in September, and I'm like, there's no way that these guys are going to be in the postseason conversation. And look at where they're at now. They're in the wild card. They dealt with injuries. They dealt with concerns, issues all the time. So that's why the Yankees are my team in the American League that I kind of want prevail. I mean, other than that, I think the only other two teams that I could ever root for right now are the Rays and the White Sox. So we'll see. Red Sox are looking pretty healthy so far this season. DJ Martinez is a day-to-day issue with Josh Taylor. Danny Santana's dealing with COVID-19 issues. So he's going to be on a pause for a while. So the Yankees and the Red Sox tonight, you can catch that on ESPN. That's going to be an exciting game to watch. I know it's not the same divisional series that we've seen in the past, but they have remerged and reelect themselves. So ESPN tonight at 8 Eastern Standard Time. Heading over to the NL wildcard, the St. Louis Cardinals and the Los Angeles Dodgers tomorrow on TBS, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Cardinals, Yadier Molina will be available, but he will be dealing with a right shoulder injury. Jack Flaherty, right shoulder as well, right wrist was Edmundo Sosa. Day-to-day, we got Justin Miller expected to return at some point through the postseason if the Cardinals continue. Out for the postseason, here's the struggles for the Cardinals. We got Jordan Hicks, Carlos Martinez, Ryan Helsley. Some key guys. And it's interesting because as the postseason winds down, as the careers of Yadier Molina and Adam Wainwright winds down, they're going to want to give it as much and everything they got. Get to see their best one last time. Over in the Dodgers, Max Muncy's a day-to-day. I believe he scratched from tomorrow's lineup. Gavin Lux is also believed to be out. Clayton Kershaw will be officially out of the postseason. Possible. Likely out of the postseason. We'll see if the Dodgers make it back, if he can squeeze in. Out of the postseason for sure. Edwin Rios for the Dodgers. Danny Duffy. Cole Hamels. Jimmy Nelson. Scott Alexander. Dustin May. Tommy John surgery there. So a lot of big names. But, and it's interesting because, that for me, that's a heavy list that the Dodgers put out there. That's a heavy list that the Yankees put out there. But those are the type of teams that still have the salary cap to afford to replace them. And it's like, what type of effect with, a guy like Clayton Kershaw out, you still have a few other guys. So what effect did you really do taking Kershaw out of the game? We'll take a look at the White Sox. We're continuing down to the ALDS. Begins on Thursday between the White Sox and the Astros, and then the winner of the AL wildcard taking on the Tampa Bay Rays. For the White Sox, Carlos Rodon will be potentially available. He's dealing with the left shoulder injury. Brian Goodwin expected to return back. Evan Marshall expected to return back later on this postseason. See, Astros and White Sox, I'm going to be a little biased. I want the White Sox to happen. What about the White Sox and the Rays? Or the White Sox and the Yankees? I mean, the Astros have been in the World Series a little too long for me. For the Astros, Zach Greinke will be available. Jose Siri, hopefully to return through the divisional series. Out for the postseason, Pedro Baez and Justin Verlander dealing with some Tommy John surgery over there. So those are huge breaks. Already dealing with some major issues going on for the Astros. The Tampa Bay Rays. Nick Anderson expected to return. Cody Reed. Out for the postseason, Tyler Glasnow. Tommy John surgery. Ryan Thomas. Oliver Drake. Chris Archer. Jeffrey Springs. Oh my, I'm just looking at this list for the first time with you guys. Tyler Glasnow and Chris Archer, two huge guys in the pitching rotation to be out that long. So who do you got for the AL? Well, I'm gonna choose the White Sox over. I'm gonna choose the Yankees beating the Red Sox. First of all, and then that's gonna be a tough choice. I want to say the Rays will defeat whoever wins the wild card spot. The White Sox I'm rooting for over and against the Astros. So I would like to see the White Sox in Tampa Bay. In the conference champ games. We'll see. We'll take it one step at a time. I'm looking for the White Sox, or I'm looking for the Yankees to prevail. And I'm choosing the White Sox, and I'm choosing Tampa Bay for the divisional series. Come back next week for more information. NLDS begins Friday with the Atlanta Braves over in Milwaukee, and then the winner of the NL wildcard taking on the San Francisco Giants. This is why I'm rooting for the Cardinals in the wildcard game, because they're going to have the most to overcome here. Because just imagine, you got to beat the Dodgers, then you got to go over to San Francisco and beat the Giants. And if you could beat those two top teams, if you can, it's been done, but if you can, then you got to either face the winner of either the Braves or the Brewers. And Milwaukee, if they could win, it would be a divisional series. I love that. That's a picture perfect postseason for the Cardinals. If they could beat the Dodgers, Giants, and Brewers going on, maybe facing the White Sox or the Rays. We're looking at the Braves injuries. Josh Tomlin expected to return. Edgar Santana throughout the season, throughout the postseason divisional series. Out for the postseason, Ronald Acuna Jr., Mike Soroka. Two top names are out for the Braves this season. Acuna Jr. torn right ACL, just a shame. The Brewers are looking a little good. They don't really have anyone. Justin Topa and John Curtis out for the season. Well, that's a big hit. I sure hope that game, that series is not affected by Acuna Jr. being absent. San Francisco, who's been playing phenomenal baseball, Jake McGee will be available. Return date to be announced. Brandon Belt. Out for this divisional series, Tony Watson. And I tell you, the Giants, after seeing that, okay, after seeing all of that, that is kind of scary that the only team with the one the best It's impressive and scary at the same time. I'm choosing Milwaukee over Atlanta here. And I'm going to go ahead and choose the Giants over the Cardinals. I believe the Cardinals could win. I don't want to. I want to choose the Cardinals over the Giants, but something's telling me the Giants are just going to. At least it's either they're not going to show up or they're going to go far. I can see Milwaukee and San Francisco. I like that series. So just a recap of the upcoming schedule tonight: the AL wildcard with the Yankees and Red Sox. That will be on ESPN. Tomorrow night, the NL wildcard TBS, Cardinals and Dodgers. The White Sox and Houston ALDS begins on Thursday. Both games on FS1. White Sox in Houston, Boston, and the winner of the AL wildcard will take on Tampa Bay. That will go back to back. The first pitch for game number one is at 4:07 Eastern Standard Time, 8:07 Eastern Standard Time. White Sox and Astros on Friday on the MLB Network. That first pitch is 2:07. Atlanta Braves and Milwaukee Brewers, 4:37. The winners of the AL wildcard and Tampa Bay Game 2 on FS1. Atlanta and Milwaukee is on TBS. And then the winner of the Dodgers and Cardinals series taking on the Giants Game 1 on TBS. That leads you into Friday. They actually have the schedule and dates. They had the dates and times come out to Sunday. Saturday will just be the National League on TBS. Sunday will be MLB Network FS1 in the afternoon. So I know that's kind of confusing. What I'll do is I'll go ahead and just kind of post up the games. Like I said, they have the scheduled out until the time dates out until Sunday. So I'll post that up and keep you guys updated on the Facebook page. At this moment, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our content here. Leave us a comment if you want to see anything more. Also, YouTube, that's the JJ Talk Show. Facebook, J&J Talk Show. That is where you keep up to date with all of us. I know it's been kind of a dead this past week, but trust me, some more stuff's going to prevail up on top of that show, on the top of that page. Also, you can now check us out on Spotify at the J&J Talk Show. Like, share, subscribe, and hit the notifications for all your, and don't miss a single episode of the J&J Talk Show. So the postseason, comment down below, who do you want to win? Do you have a favorite team? What's going on? We'll be back again Thursday morning with the NFL Week 5 after the Chargers beat the Raiders last night in a good football matchup game. Raiders tried to come back from behind, 21 down. Couldn't happen. So they fall short to 3-1. A lot of great things happening. Tom Brady passing Drew Brees in the most passing yards, picking up the victory over the New England Patriots this past Sunday night. We'll take a look and get you ready into what's going on in Week 5 of the NFL, who's undefeated, who is winless. And our picks, I'll have the clear up-to-date picks of everyone that's joining. And like I said, if you want to join us, we'll probably post the picks later on today. Just lead down in the comments, and we'll get you involved. I know our good buddy Trey was out there. Has been playing along, so thank you. So Thursday, NFL. Friday is going to be what you need to know for the weekend. NCAA football, NBA preseason is going on, NFL Week 5, Major League Baseball postseason, anything else that you need to know takes on Friday. And then we'll be back again this Sunday for another episode of the J&J Talk Show, talking all about sports, wrestling, and what you need to know in the world of sports there. I'd like to take this time and thank the StreamYard.com, providing us the studio that we could broadcast our live streams and Spotify audio. StreamYard.com, if you're looking to create content music that we've been playing in the background. I hope everyone's enjoying that. epidemicsound.com. Try it out now. And by Place It. That has all of our games. Place It that has all of our logos. Sorry, distracted for a moment. It has all of our logos that you see on all of our channels. Placeit.com does much more designing than just logos, t-shirt designing, mugs, everything else you can think of. So I hope you guys enjoy this show. Like I said, tune us in back on Thursday. We'll be back with you once more. And like I said, don't forget to check out the AL wildcard game tonight, NL wildcard game tomorrow. We have and I got to watch this tonight, the Escape the Undertaker on Netflix, WWE style, between Mark Calloway, a.k.a. The Undertaker, and The New Day, provided a film on Netflix called Escape the Undertaker. Go check that out right now on Netflix. Young Sheldon begins on Thursday night on CBS. New season as it intensifies. And until next time, we thank you guys for tuning in, and I hope you guys have a wonderful week.